X-Man, you got Schmelk and Meadow here. How's everything going, man? It's good to hear your voice.
Oh, man, everything's going great, man. Just getting out of practice. It's just good to be back, man. I'm feeling great.
Well, talk about today. It was kind of a game-ish type of atmosphere out there. It was very physical, live tackling to the ground. I don't remember the last time I saw that at an NFL practice. What was the atmosphere, and what was it like there on the field trying to execute what the coaches were asking of you?
Oh, man, the atmosphere was great, man. It felt great getting back out there, actually popping the pads, actually tackling to the ground. It's been a while. And, with the COVID situation, not being able to be back and just to finally actually play football, live tackling, it was great. And, all the guys were excited, so it was fun.
Oshane, we've talked so much about the fact that there's no preseason games this year. What you just talked about in terms of the environment of a padded practice, I know you haven't been through so many, but from what you're experiencing, how close is it to simulating a preseason game, and how much substance is there that you feel this is going to prepare you enough for what lies ahead this season?
Yeah, not having a preseason game, it's tough. It's going to be tough not having that, but the coaches did a really good job adjusting and trying to create that physical game atmosphere and like that game speed, and I think we did a really good job of that.
And how necessary is it, Oshane? Because, like you said, you don't have the preseason games, and you want to be ready to go against the Steelers, so going to come in here and they're going to try to knock the you-know-what out of you. How essential is it to have practices like these, to have live tackling drills where you're taking guys to the ground so you are ready for that first regular season game when it gets here?
It's very important. Guys are rusty. We've been off for like 8-9 months. Guys haven't played physical football with shoulder pads and helmets on, so just to actually do it and knock the rust off, is great, and I feel like we did a good job today.
Speaking of the communication aspect and knocking off the rust, Patrick Graham on the walkie-talkie today having an opportunity to communicate with the defense as you go through your plays. What was it like to finally get down the jargon and the language of the defense from him in a game atmosphere?
It was great, and I feel like we do a good job of that, throughout practice. It's always simulating the game, even when it's not a scrimmage. So, I feel like we're getting a pretty good grasp on it, and, it was good to finally, actually put it to work today.
We've had a few times to talk to Blake Martinez, and he just seems like such an excellent conduit for what the coach is trying to get through to you guys on the field. What is it like him having there with you as your Mike linebacker, communicating to you pre-snap?
Blake's great, man. He's a very smart guy. I got a lot of respect for him, man. He's great, man. I'm glad he's back there. Our huddle caller, and he does a great job relaying the plays and making sure everybody's in the right spot, man. He's great.
Oshane, this is certainly a year of adjustment for everybody, and you're only entering year number 2 in the NFL. In order to put things in perspective, this is actually the third defense that you're digesting in the span of 3 years, if we take into consideration, of course, your experience at Old Dominion. From the outside looking in, I think it's easy for a lot of us to say, wow, that's a lot to throw at a young player so early in his career. What has it been like adjusting to so many different defenses, especially now another one, in the span of just 3 years?
Yeah, I mean, it's always going to be an adjustment, but I wouldn't say football is football. You go out there, you get between the lines, and you just play football. I'm just focused on coming in every day and taking the meetings to the field and just going hard every single day and trying to get better.
How did those? Now that you're on the field and actually executing the plays, Oshane, you look back, how do you think those Zoom meetings help you be prepared and be ready to go when you did show up here for training camp, which is going to be compressed into a much less time than what you usually have?
The Zoom meetings, they were, with the COVID situation going on, it was a really good way for the team to stay together virtually and, socially distanced still. And, I feel like it was a great adjustment that the NFL made because we were still able to get those meetings down and, not completely go off grid away from football. It was a good way to keep the team together and, still communicate and still keep, the scheme fresh in our head for training camp.
As far as the interaction within your group, I think it's interesting, Oshane, because there's a lot of youth at your position, which means that comes with a lot of upside. But you also have veterans such as Marcus Golden, who just returned, and Kyler Fackrell. Having those two guys to complement the rest of the unit, including yourself. What are the dynamics like in that positional room as you're digesting this new defense and can lean on some established players at that position?
Yeah, Marcus Golden, Colin Fackrell, man, those guys are great, man. You know, they've been in the league a little while longer, so they, you know, it's a good, anytime I got a question, I can go to them, you know, and they're always open to answer any question that I ask. And, you know, we all lean on each other and we motivate each other every single day, and we know we're taking it one day at a time, focus on getting better every single day.
We're joined by Oshane Ximines, Giants outside linebacker and edge rusher. When you finished with last season, Oshane, you headed into your offseason before all the craziness started. What were your major goals in terms of where you wanted to improve from a football standpoint? Was it strength, technique, hands? What was your big focus this offseason and where you wanted to improve as a football player?
You know, I just wanted to, like, improve any way I can possibly, man. You know, I was working out every single day, making sure I was conditioned and, you know, just studying the film and the things I didn't quite grasp last year to just make sure I got it down packed this year, you know, just taking that step as a second-year player.
What do you think you learned over the course of your rookie year that will help you make that jump and take that next step in your second year? What did you learn about the NFL?
I learned, you know, you can never be too high, you can never be too low. You know, there's going to be ups and downs, and every single day you just got to come back and throw a punch, and you just fight through it.
Shane, related to that adjustment, how much has the speed of the game slowed down for you, would you say, based on what you saw on the field last season versus how quickly maybe you're reading and digesting plays throughout the course of this offseason?
Well, you know, I haven't played another game yet to, you know, to really see, you know, it's been practice, but like I said, man, you know, every day I'm just coming in every single day and I'm fighting, man. I'm trying to get better.
Shane, without giving away any state secrets, obviously, you know, I'm watching practice every day, and today you guys had your third down blitz period, and some of the formations that Patrick Graham's throwing out there, guys that are usually outside, they're lining up inside. You only have one guy with his hand in the dirt. Guys are standing up all over the place. As a pass rusher, do some of the things that Patrick Graham's trying to do with his scheme really excite you for how, when you get into game situations, they can help you guys get to the quarterback?
Oh yeah, definitely, man. It's great to see. You know, it's a very fun scheme to play in. And, you know, it's always something you never know what's going to come at you, and I feel like that's great. And I just, you know, I'm excited for it, and I can't wait.
Well, and based on the movement, Oshane, within this scheme and the multiple fronts, when you look at the outlook for this season, usually teams always have a total of sacks in their mind. Hey, this is our goal. How much is it going to be maybe more of a group effort feel as opposed to leaning on specifically one guy in particular to be doing the whole heavy lifting in that department?
You know, like I said, you know, we're all leaning on each other. We're all motivating each other. You know, we just focused on just coming in and, you know, just being out the best us. You know, that we're going to be rushing out there together, smart as a unit, and it's going to be good to see.
Final question for me, Oshane, and you don't have to put numbers on it or anything like that, but what are some of your overarching goals for you as a team and for you as an individual player heading into your second year?
Yeah, I'm just focused on getting better every day, man. I'm just ready to just put the team first and just, you know, winning is the main goal ultimately, man.
Oshane, before we let you go, speaking of goals, Brett Bielema, your new positional coach, recently spoke to the media. And one of the things he talked about was the fact that he is preaching outside linebacker DNA in the room, which I found to be a very interesting term, and it's part of his philosophy. What does that term mean to you, and what's the message that you've taken from your new positional coach as you look to develop a relationship with him this season?
Yeah, you know, Coach B, man, I call him Coach B. Man. He's great, man, and you know, I'm thankful to have him as a coach, and, you know, I take his philosophy every day and I put it in my back pocket, and I just, you know, always got it in the back of my mind before a play. And I feel like, you know, in a short amount of time, you know, I've gotten better with my footwork and things like that. And, you know, having that, you know, having that OLB DNA in the back of your mind while you're playing, you know, is great. And, you know, I like the philosophy.
You know, and X, it's funny. You know, we're watching practice 40 yards away sometimes. I hear Patrick Graham. I hear Coach B. These guys are loud, man. They are not shy about coaching you guys up after reps if they don't like what they see, huh?
Yeah, not at all, man. You know, everybody loves football. We're fired up, man. You know, definitely a lot of coaching going on out there.
And just real quick, as an aside, a lot of people have made a big deal about, you know, Joe Judge. Oh, guys have to run if they make a mistake. as a player, as a young guy, is that something that bothers you, or is that something that kind of gets you excited, where guys are being held responsible and you have to do things properly in practice because that's what you want to translate into a game? What was your reaction when you saw guys having to run those laps after some of those mental mistakes?
I liked it, man, because when you like throw some of the small things away in practice and it shows up in the game, and that could be the difference between winning and losing a game. I feel like holding each other accountable is a great step we're taking, and I like it. I'm excited about it.
And it's sorry, Lance, real quick, and it seems like Oshane that Joe Judge, even though he's being harsh, I guess is the wrong word, but being very strict with you guys on the field in terms of mistakes, it seems like he does go out of his way to reach out to you guys personally, right, and build a bond with each and every one of you guys. So while maybe he's a disciplinarian on the field, off the field, that's maybe not quite his personality, right?
Yeah, we're all big on like bonding and knowing our teammates, and not only teammates but teammates and coaches. We're big on bonding, and we have a lot of team bonding things that we do, and I feel like the team is coming together really well.
Oshane, as I hear you describe the relationship that you're building with Joe Judge, and to John's point, having the players run laps and so forth, as I mentioned, this roster for the most part is very young. 50% of you are only 2 years or less into the NFL, and I guess where I'm getting at is how much is it maybe what you're used to seeing at the collegiate level and how hard coaches are on you on the collegiate level, that this hasn't been that unique of a transition based on what Joe Judge is preaching in practice?
College is college, and NFL is NFL. I think they're two very different things, and I feel like it's going to be a transition regardless, no matter where you go. So it is what it is.